Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In case you are here for the first time, my name is George Dvorak, I'm from the Czech Republic, and here on my YouTube channel I publish how I practice entry point philosophy, and specifically today I will talk about my 19th day of my 9th entry point water fast. Since 2019, since August 2019, I've done 9 water fasts, and since then I've fasted probably around 400 days now, which is even for me incredible, because this means that on average half a year I just don't eat. Now again, I don't do fasting for reasons to lose weight. You never do fasting for losing weight. You do fasting for different reasons, which I will summarize. If you want to lose weight, then I suggest you start running, for example, or do exercise. Now, I already summed up the reasons in my previous videos, but I'll just do a quick recap. The number one reason is health reason, because you put your body into a state of what I call superketosis, where after about a week of fasting, your body turns into ketosis, and this state really helps the body. The reasons I already mentioned in the previous videos, so check them out. The links are in the comments to this video. Also, you will experience having more energy. That's reason number 2. Reason number 3, you will experience an increased brain power. Again, all the details and why are described in the previous videos. 4th reason is that since your brain activity increases and you have more energy, you start experiencing something that I call the flow or peak performance. And this is something you also experience during fasting. I really experienced it my 7th and 8th water fast, where this state was I was in this state for several weeks, and it was amazing what was happening in my life. And last video that I did, I was talking to you about the other reason, or the main reason why I do it. And that's not only to be in the flow state, because if you are in the flow state, that's great, but you have to understand why and why it all makes sense. And the last video I described the 2 ways you can view the world. One, and both of them actually involve the analogy of chess. So one way of looking at your life situation is like looking at the chess position. You have several moves that make sense. Same with in life, you are aware of things that you can do that make sense. Now, when I say things that don't make sense, so for example in chess, it would mean making a completely stupid move that doesn't make sense at all. And same in life, a stupid move is just let's jump out of the window or smash the TV. So in chess it's called candidate moves. And the same thing with in the first paradigm, how you view your current life situation. You have also candidate moves, things that you can do. So how do you decide, what moves to make in life in the first paradigm? It's the same, just like in chess. You calculate the variations, the moves, you imagine the position. And for each variation, you imagine the positions, you evaluate if the position is good for you or not. And if you feel that it's better for you, then you go along with that variation. And same with life. In the first paradigm, you imagine each candidate move, what the consequences or the life situation you are going to be at after you do those moves. And you should choose a path that leads you to your desired state. Now that's paradigm 1. In paradigm 1, also what's very common is that people set long-term goals. In other words, they say, in order for you to decide the right candidate move, and thus the variations you should know. And that's like in life, right? In order to know which candidate decision to make in your life, they always tell you have to know long term where you are heading. So you set a long term goal, big house, big car, whatever, and you are trying to choose candidate moves and variations that will lead you there. But this actually doesn't happen in chess, because in chess, every move, you are not thinking about the exact mate, the end destination where you are going to go, where you are trying to go, because you know that it's futile, because what you are going to play depends how your opponent is going to reply, and you have to act accordingly. So you have to be flexible, and every chess player knows it. So you just go, step by step. Of course, there are situations where you have to calculate many moves ahead, but most of the times, you are playing correct moves to move towards the end result, which is the mate. And in life, you try to set a long-term goal and then move towards it. But as most of us experience, it's not really that easy. In fact, most of us fail to reach their goal, so then we settle for less. And last video I described the second paradigm, which I'm going to deep dive in now, and plus I will add after how I practice it in my life. So the second paradigm says you have no chance to figure out what happened in the past, because you will never know all the causes of all the effects and their causes and their effects and their causes. So you have no idea, even though you might think you know why something happened in the past, you never know, why something happened. And likewise, the future is so dynamic, so chaotic, and so unpredictable that it's almost futile to plan long term ahead. So the second paradigm says, forget the past, forget the future. The only thing that matters is the present moment. And the only thing you can make sure about is that in every present moment, you make the correct move, regardless where it's going to lead you, because you know that if you make the correct move, it will lead you towards your ultimate goal, even though you don't know what it is at the moment. It's the same thing with chess. Magnus Carlsen, or the world's number one chess player, when he sits at the board, he's not, I would say that almost never, in a serious game with another grandmaster, Magnus Carlsen is never imagining what kind of mate he is going to give. But every moment he plays correct sound move. And that's what leads him to the most beautiful mates, or the most beautiful position, dominant position, because he plays correct moves. And that's exactly the second point, which is you have to be only in the present moment, in a certain state, which will enable you to make the correct move. And that state, it's actually the flow state. So the key, you can imagine that while you are in the flow state, or while you are in the peak performance state, again, I'm using the various names for the same state. Another name is no mind state. So while you are in this state, imagine that while you are in this state, without thinking about why you are doing something, without thinking about all the things, while you're in this state, you are able always to move towards your ultimate goal. And the ultimate goal in this second paradigm has two attributes. The first one is that you have no idea what this goal is. You have no idea. And second attribute is you know that this will be the best, the the most ultimate goal you can achieve in life. And I'll tell you exactly, or I'll tell you from my experience, how I practice it. Again, what I'm actually telling you here, it's not that I'm telling you this is the way it is. This is a proven fact. No, what I'm telling you and what I'm sharing with you is my life experience. And I would hope that what I'm telling you, you're thinking about it, you will think about it, and then you will try it and maybe take some bits and pieces of it and try to apply it in your life. So again, the key is to be in the flow state. But to be in the flow state, what it means is that you must not be distracted by your surroundings. So a way to get to it is that you use fasting as a tool, because let's imagine that you are in a meeting. So when you are in the meeting, your head should be your mind should be completely empty. When your mind is completely empty, you just look at the situation without putting any labels on. And what really helps is that if you imagine that, let's say you are a space alien who's monitoring this meeting, and you will actually ask yourself, what do you see? Now, the reason I'm using a metaphor with space alien is that for me it's like an easy way how to see the situation without any labels. So if you're in a meeting, then from a point of view an alien, you have to realize, there's let's say it's a meeting of two people. So there's one Homo sapiens sitting with another Homo sapiens, and the reason that they met, and that's the reason behind every single meeting in the world, is that consciously or subconsciously, the two Homo sapiens felt that if they meet and discuss something, it will be actually beneficial for both of them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be at the meeting. So when you realize this, then obviously when you look at the meeting, then you say, okay, what must happen during this meeting so that both parties walk away from the meeting feeling that it was worthwhile to meet? And one of the best, and also when you realize this, and I practice it a lot, during the meeting, I actually, and even though it's a common knowledge, I do it in every meetings. I always say in the beginning, you know what, I am here, and I would be happy that when we say goodbye to each other, that I will feel this way, and I feel that in order to get there, we should discuss this and that. I'll just tell them the truth. Because when I tell them the truth, I don't have to think about it. I just tell them how it is. And either whatever I say will continue the discussion and it will be beneficial, or it will not land and there will be a response. And when the response would come, again, I can react to it. Also, when I say react to it, what really works during these meetings, so aside from looking at it as an alien, because when you look at it as an alien, you can really go for, it really helps you to see it without the labels. Again, as I said, two humans met because they felt consciously or subconsciously that it's beneficial. So now let's pretend that it's a business meeting. Then from the point of view of an alien, in fact, both humans are representatives of, let's say, two companies. Each company is a virtual agreement between a group of people to generate certain products for which they can get money. And these two groups of people decided that they can join forces so that it's beneficial for both of them. So they send their two representatives. And when you look at it this way, and you always, look at any meeting, and when I say meeting, it doesn't have to be work meeting. It could be meeting of, two love partners, or it could be, going into the store. That it sets you the high level overview of what's happening. Also, another thing that when I was talking about that you react to someone, in fact, it really makes sense, and because when you sit there and your head is empty, you have no thoughts, you're not trying to push anything anywhere, and then someone reacts, then when they say something, most likely thoughts will appear, and the best thing to do during the meeting is to just tell the other person the thoughts that I have, why I think that I have them, and what they think about it. Now this ties really close to what ancient philosophers came up with, and that's it's a communication technique called it's a communication technique that I actually described in a video, which is not linked here, but you can find it on my YouTube channel, and it's called How I Apply Plato in 21st Century, and it's called Didactics, and you can actually use it to really build in synergy with the other person on a thought and on an agreement, and discuss in a different way various issues and problems, and this actually really ties to it. Now, I just scratched surface of how you can apply entry point philosophy in today's chaotic world, and I will probably talk about the details in the future. Also, I will discuss these details in my project called ENTRYPOINT Academy. Some of the videos you can already find on my channel, including a playlist for ENTRYPOINT Academy. And I would probably close this video with a few thoughts on this water fast. So today, it's let's say it's 7 p.m. So I'm finishing off 19th day. So far, I have to say that it's business as usual. So it's 19 days. So I lost about 11 kilos. I go to sleep and wake up the same way as in the past, so I don't feel any changes so far. I don't have any cravings for food at all. So right now it's 19 days, and as I said, I plan to do this fast for at least, or not for at least, but not based on number of days, but till I reach the weight of 69 kilos, which means that it's about 13 kilos from now. And based on the stats that I keep, I think that I'll be doing this for another 30-40 days to reach 69 kilos. If you ask yourself why 69 kilos, then the reason in my case why it's 69 kilos is that based on the previous water fast, I feel that when I drop below 70 kilos, that my fat reserves are probably dropping to a level where I can feel physically that the body is not as in shape as it was before it dropped below 70 kilos. So I will do it till 69. Today I told you a few things, how I practice the no mind flow peak performance state during various life situations. I was talking about a meeting. It helps to picture it as an alien, because alien doesn't know all the little details, so you have to talk about in really broad perspective. Or you can imagine that, let's say someone from 100,000 years ago is sitting beside you. They understand the language, but they have no idea what's happening during the meeting, so you have to explain it to them, because that way you really know and understand what's happening from the high level. And also what really helps to be an observer, and when you talk to someone, to discuss, tell them what thoughts appear in your head, and talk about the thoughts and why they appear. And so as an example, someone would say, the price is $100,000, and immediately a thought appears, wow, that's expensive. So then I will tell the person, you know what? When you said the price the first time, I thought to myself, wow, that's expensive. And they might say, or even I would even ask myself, so why did this thought appear? And then another thought will appear. It would say, well, because you only have $90,000. And then I can tell the other person, oh, well, because I don't have enough money. I only have $90,000, right? Now, I understand that some of you might say, well, there are cultures where you have to haggle for the price, and you know, it's like this psychological game. But still, the truth is that both parties meet because they feel that they can come to a mutually beneficial, synergetic relationship. So that's what I told you about. So expect that in the future videos I will tell you more about how I feel as the days go by, and I will try to share with you more ways and thoughts how during the water fasting I apply entry point philosophy. And there's one thing I forgot to mention, and that's that, you know, these things that I talk about, it's very actually easy to forget them during everyday chaos and everyday life. But the good thing about fasting is that you always know you are fasting. You always feel a little bit of like, you know, there's always a thought that says, hey, you know, now it would be nice to have a bite of something. That happens. But you can use this thought and craving for food to remind you that you are doing fasting because you want to get better and more comfortable in living life. So I'll talk about this in the future. Thank you for your support. Feel free to write me comments, messages, whatever. All the contacts are available in the description to this video. Check out also the videos from the past. You know, feel free to share this information because I personally feel that water fasting is extremely interesting, and I can believe that it's so not known among, I would say, all people in the world. That just like people know that they should brush their teeth, they should know that once a year they should do a 2-week, 3-week water fast. So take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.